gentlemen, to the 2022 Halo World Championship. We're down to our final 8 teams, Puckett and Walshy. And Dave, we're gonna find out who's taking that step forward. Who is gonna claim the $400,000 in the title of World Champion tonight?
Yeah, and what we got next is a matchup that we could have expected in the absolute grand finals, but we are seeing it in elimination round 2. One of these teams going home in 5th/6th place, which is a devastating loss for either of these franchises.
You're looking at our Raleigh champions in Cloud9 taking on the Kansas City champions in Sentinels, and we're starting things off with CTF Bazaar, Dave. As we're looking at these 5 maps, though, do you give one team the edge over the other? How are you feeling about this showdown?
I mean, I kind of give Cloud9 the edge in whatever the game types are. They seem to have Sentinels numbered. They have won 6 of the last 7 games that they played on land in Orlando. They just seem to have the answer to whatever Sentinels has to throw at them, but we're kicking it off right away. Here's Frosty going out in the market on Bazaar.
This is the battle for top 4, and it's opening up with Eco drawing first blood. Sentinels replying right back, and there you see the Rockets already down. It's coming down to a 1v2 as Cloud9 gathers up this first overshield. They're gonna have early map control.
And look at this, doesn't activate the West right away, wants to get maximum value out of it. Finally putting that overshield into his chest and decides to go over towards the sewer. I mean, maybe go on the Seattle Underground Tour later this weekend, get some top control.
We have not crowned a world champion since 2018. This man on your screen, he won that title. Going up against, though, a 2-time world champion in Snakebite.
And 3 just went down from Cloud9. I think that was a mistake to not just control the top when you have the numbers and the power-ups.
Shot to the back of bounds. Snakebite's gonna convert the first. And you can see his teammates trying to pinch in. There's some nice cover fire over the back of Royal 2. 3 down for Cloud9 momentarily, and Sentinels are starting to posture up in the top mid.
And look at all these minute battles going on in the market. So many times these battles are decided decisively and quickly, but these teams just posturing so well across the map.
And Dave, you're looking at the kills. Snakebite has the same amount of eliminations as Cloud9 at this point. He's doing it with the Bulldog, making 7, going for number 8. The damage has been done. Can this Sentinel squad capitalize, though? We haven't seen either team make it to the other space.
I mean, historically, they should be able to capitalize. The 2 CTF Bazaars that they've played so far on land over the last 2 matches, they actually got outslayed. They had a .98 KD, but still won both of those CTF games 3-2. So objective efficiency is the name of the game for Sentinels, but we're not seeing them get inside the Cloud9 base.
All about efficiency. Royal 2 trying to trade out with Stellar. Stellar comes out on top of that win. And now you can see Cloud9 get aggressive. The first nade connecting by Lethal, but this overshield, you can tank those, Dave. He's pushing up top. Bound's gonna pull his flag, and there's no one with shield willing to contest for Sentinels.
Not at all, and that's the name of the game for someone like Bound. He puts out as much damage as he takes. He is known in the last couple series for literally putting out the most damage and taking the most damage in the last 2 times that they played in Orlando against Sentinels.
Stellar taking down Frosty, trying to get closer to this flag, but it's going to be rallied in. Bound is bringing it up top, and we are going to see it go down. First flag on the board. Cloud9 with the lead early on here.
And great timing for that as well. There are 2 members down for Sentinels. Rockets come up in 5 seconds, and this is going to be a great position for Cloud9. Just as I say that, though, Frosty doing Frosty things, fighting against that new star in Bound, and falls.
Bound with such great movement there, and he is going to pick up the prize. Rockets are out. First one doesn't connect. Second one will, and the melee will trade. What a run there from Bound. Now we go over to the captain, Eco.
Eco pushing on through the sewers, trying to get control of this bar area. Gets a nice flank on Frosty, helping out his teammate Stellar over on the flag, and this is going to be the push. Flag being pulled for Cloud9. They're not satisfied with just 1 cap.
And Stellar's going to be the man moving this one. He's got it in hand, doesn't drop it down low yet. But Dave, once you get this flag out in the middle of the map, you feel good, right? You can just stay up top, rain down fire. You're causing chaos on 2 different levels here.
Yeah, I mean, you feel good. You're kind of like native bred. Like, things are going good, but there's more work to do, and that's what Cloud9 needs to do. They need to get a couple more slays before they can comfortably move that across the map. trading out kills, trading out that flag grab, but that OS is still up for grabs.
That
and
was
that
a
did
game-changing
not go
moment
so
right
well.
there. Big props to Royal, too. He was the player who got that flag return a second before the overshield pops. That very much could have been Cloud9 at 2-0.
And look at this prioritization from the Sentinels roster. They decide to take over the bar side of the map here on Cloud9's half. They get a couple kills, and they're just gonna clean on up. Snakebite gets the kill on Stellar, but Eco, the last one remaining, trying to buy time, wait for a teammate to spawn, and that's where Bound comes back and helps.
Eco on your screen, running with the rest of the crew. Cloud9, yes, they are the red team, chat. Sentinels wearing blue in this one. And you're gonna see 3 down for Sentinels again already. Flag under pressure, but Bound cut down by Royal 2. Again, the defense, they're coming up clutch for the Sentinel side. It's a 1-point game day.
Yeah, you can do so many things right here on Bazaar. You can get the Slays out of your base, you can get the power up on the side of the map, but once you finally get to their base, that's where you have no room for error. You can't have your flag carrier die.
We mentioned at the start of the game, Snakebite had 6 kills. Cloud9 as a team was sitting on 6. Now check out that scoreboard. Cloud9 dominating the slaying. No one from Sentinels really able to string together a killing spree. And you were just highlighting a player, Dave. Who's got your eye over there at C9?
Penguin's got my eye. People call him the best support player, but I'm seeing the best Slayer so far in this match with 15 kills and only 6 deaths.
And you know that's the way he wanted to bounce back after losing that Game 5 to Native Red. Penguin only had 3 kills there, already at 15. Stellar, not worried about this flag. No one really threatening for Sentinels. And here comes Eco again. He's trying to sneak behind 2, but again, it's defense holding strong for Sentinels base.
And they got all the information they need. They know where those numbers of Sentinels are. They can hold these power positions. And the 6-minute mark is when both the power up and power weapon are popping. So Overshield being grabbed by Cloud9. Rockets being grabbed by Cloud9. This is going to be tough for Sentinels to stop.
I feel like we're watching a tug-of-war battle, but the rope, it is being pulled heavily in favor of this Cloud9 squad, and you're seeing Stellar just run amok in the base. Penguin comes down through the hole to help, and you're gonna see a flag. Ran once again, you just need another pick, and this one's going out.
And look at that spawn awareness from Stellar, either hearing that call out or just knowing that they didn't have the thruster corner blocked, and so kills Frosty, staggers his spawn. He's gonna have no effect on his flag run. It's all up to Royal 2 here.
And this is the 3rd time we've seen Stellar move this flag out. Can he get away with his life? The answer so far is yes. Teammates doing a fantastic job protecting. Frosty's gonna find one. Penguin, though, is gonna cut down Royal 2, who is closest to that flag.
Making his way through the double doors, dodges those grenades, but Snakebite is on the prowl. Gets the stop here, and this is going to be tough to stop, and that's flag number 2 going in for Bound in the Cloud9 squad.
And a nice job, everyone falling back with that flag. You saw the clutch defense stopping Royal 2 short. Bound grabs that flag, takes it right in the base. 2-0, we're playing to 5, but you have to think, with a 2-0 lead, 4 minutes and 40 seconds, you can even change your play style of Cloud9 right now. You can just run out this clock.
Especially on Bazaar, you'll see maybe this next couple minutes, Cloud9 might still push into the Sentinels base, but hold up 1 second. Got to cover this push that's coming in. All right, that push was now stopped there. Sentinels are getting close, getting a flagpole. But what I was going to highlight is during the last couple minutes of the game, you'll see Cloud9 stray away from blocking the spawns in the Sentinels base. They don't want Sentinels to spawn over in the locker, over towards the sewer, where they get a head start towards the Cloud9 flag.
Another overshield going to Cloud9 as Bound is setting up for it. Let's crank up our Astros and go to a listen in with your team leading by 2.
What's up? Yeah.
Yeah, pushing the flag, with Charlie.
I'm gonna go. Okay.
He's pushing the elbow, pushing the elbow.
BR, bridge into BR, 2 dead. One in their BR.
Look behind you.
I'm gonna throw.
To their tree.
I'm pushing it. I'm in their base, guys.
I'm watching the BR.
The wall.
Their BR, bridge, 1 shot. Their BR behind you guys, flanking you guys. 2 flanking, 1 has combo thrust.
Yeah, he's on BR.
They're doubles. They're doubles in their BR. Their BR was weak, Royal 2.
They're all weak now. Put the shot. Nice, good shot.
One in the tree, he's one.
Watch out, tree.
1 can be
Nice, good shot.
double insane and bottom mid somewhere, I think.
I died to the tree. He's coming out the tree to wall.
The doubles lethal.
So, yo, nades are
In the
up.
wall, in the wall.
Shocks were up.
Doubles
Like,
lethal. Doubles
Shocks at him. Shocks
No.
at him.
Hit
You got him.
2 bottom mid, 2 bottom mid, 2 bottom
I'm
mid.
just trying to. We should play elbow side.
Yeah.
Rockets are next, guys.
Aimbody with me, I'm aimbody with you, I'm aimbody. Our side, top buckets.
10 seconds.
He only sees me,
He's got our doubles weak.
One shot sewers, Frosty. I don't know. He's weak to our spikes.
Bizarre.
And we come out of that listed in, and how good are the comms from Cloud9? There is no panic in these voices.
Not at all, just stoic and collected, but here comes the opportunity for Sentinels. This might be the best chance that they've had thus far. They have Frosty over the flag. They have 3 members down, and they got the flag all the way over to the sewer.
This is a squad, you gotta play all the way to the whistles. If the Sentinels can get set up, they can run it up on you, but already flag carrier in trouble. Sentinels are gonna get stopped again,
A
Dave.
rare mistaken run from Sentinels. Generally, if they're running towards sewer, they are blocking those spawns. Instead, they ran towards sewer before knowing where the members of Cloud9 were spawning, and now that flag is dead in the water.
Looking at your numbers, Penguin continues to crush 25 with 7 assists. You got Eco now dropping 14 assists to go with his 14 kills. Everything working for Cloud9. On the other side, Lethal. He's been the one struggling in the kill feed, Dave. He's still on single digits. I need to see TJ take his game back up to his normal level from previous Halos.
Yeah, the stats not showing so well in his favor. Well, let's see what TJ, aka Lethal, can do with this
Got the
overshield.
overshield.
He's pushing on over towards tree, realizing he does not want to charge into a 1v2 or 1v3 in a close corridor fight. But also, time is not in his favor, as there's only a minute 42 for Sentinels to get 2 caps on the board.
Really nice awareness there by Cloud9. The Needler is going to melt that overshield. Eco's still playing some base defense, and they know it's not the 2 flags we got to worry about. It's the 90 seconds on the clock to slowly bleed out this game. Penguin, the base defense has been true all game long.
And he'll take that trade any day of the week. Generally, when you're on the defensive at your base, if you go kill for kill, your reinforcements are going to come back faster.
I know we got a lot of Sentinel crowds here in the a lot of Sentinel fans here in the crowd in Seattle. But you got to give it up for Cloud9 right now. 31 and 15 from your support player of the year, Penguin. Bound, the man brought in to replace Renegade, doing his job. This Cloud9 squad is looking ready on Championship Sunday, and they are 50 seconds away from game number 1 here.
They are looking dangerous, and look how they're just holding down to the center of the map. Now, one error that can come with this play is if they get too turtled up and too defensive, this could set up Sentinels for a counter cap or a double cap. So we're going to see how Bound decides to play this one, because he is no longer in the fight, and it's now going to be up to Penguin and Stellar to defend their
You got to
flag.
play perfect from here. 30 seconds to get a flag cap and another pull to force that overtime. Penguin taken down by the grenade. Snakebite able to finish that one. He's going to run the flag with Royal 2 covering, but the pressure, the defense, they're coming in 2s. Eco and Bound forcing them back with the nades. Frosty's here to support, and that flag is pulled, but time running out, Dave. You can't get this back in 6 seconds.
They have to get it back, and not just that, they have to get a second pull, and that is going to be it here for game number 1. Cloud9 taking a 1-0 lead here in this series.
The last 8 games they played against each other on the main stage, 7 of them going to Cloud9, and this one could be the biggest yet, a game 1 in the best of 5.
And that is the exact strong start you need. I don't know exactly what it is with this Cloud9 roster, but they seem to have this Sentinels roster figured out. You saw so many different situations where Frosty would be the first kill. Look at even in the kill feed at this moment. Very beginning of this, you saw Frosty that very first death. They're able to find this powerhouse Slayer in the form of Sentinels in Frosty and pick him off before he can swoop in later.
It was just total map dominance. Every overshield felt like it was just falling in the hands of Cloud9. Map control was there after the first rockets, and honestly, Dave, it was a slaying affair that was one-sided. C9 coming out, causing problems for Sentinels, who are just known to be so individually talented. They got out teamwork here in this first game.
They got teamwork, they got outslayed, and they got outplayed.
And there is the flag, the whole squad rallying back. Bound, breaking in, putting number 2 on the board, and from there, they could just bleed out the clock. 4 minutes of defense and a 2-0 finish to Bizarre. Cloud9 strikes first.
Cloud9 strikes first, but it's all about who is striking last in this series. Whoever wins that final game will be our victor. And Live Fire Slayer, this one could slow down. Yes, we saw some chaotic and fast moments there in Bizarre. Well, all in all, Bizarre is a slower paced mode. that same going to be here on Live Fire Slayer. Not until we get later in this series, when we get into those final games on Recharge, King of the Hill, and Street Stronghold, will you see that pace really pick up?
Eco's gonna take heavy shots before being able to fire back, and he is forced down. But we're gonna start things off with a Slayer who's been dropping a 1.34. Dave, Eco, not known to be the man who has to put up the numbers. He's been doing it all tournament long, though, especially in these TSs.
And he needs to do it soon, though, if that's the case, because right off the rip, Sentinels, 4 kills, 0 deaths. They get control of the heat wave, control that sniper. Now, how are Cloud9 going to react? Because they got a couple random picks. Can they turn that into a larger advantage?
And can you just tell me a little bit about Frosty? I know he might fall here, but I know we're coming back to him eventually. Frosty, this is a guy that I was commentating in Call of Duty, and he comes over to this team. Then he comes right back to Halo with Infinite coming out. He's been a Sentinels mainstay, but I feel like we haven't been saying his name enough on Championship Sunday.
He is just a freak in this game. Any game he touches, he is amazing at. I put him in my top 3 in Halo Infinite as of right now, but the stats and this performance is really showing it. I think Cloud9 really has figured it out. When you listen to different interviews of the Cloud9 players, they do target those superstars on roster. They make sure that they can't get fully activated. They shut them down before they can catch fire.
Nice job. Sentinels forcing back Penguin, but here comes Frosty with help, and you're just going to see Sentinels rolling over the top here. Penguin and Stellar put on their back. They're going to have to run for their lives as the heat wave still in the hands of Sentinels. Now, finally, Cloud9 with Stellar have it in their hands.
Look at that. Stellar just not letting a weak Frosty get away. Wants to make sure, like I said, he can't get in a very comfortable zone. Let him trade kill for kill.
Overshield's going to be popping. Stellar trying to protect from above. And he's losing all of his support. Note the pinch is eventually coming in. Nice job to trade it out, but this is going in favor so far of Sentinels. Up by 1. Lethal with this overshield. This is where he can really start to grow that lead, Dave.
They can grow that lead. They're going to see how they're going to push over towards C-flat. But look at these defenses. Look at all the grenades and the flank from Bound. That overshield was
Melted.
just decimated, melted, evaporated, whatever adjective entered there.
Snake Bite's gonna fall as well without the trade. Some big moves from Cloud9 in the last minute, and they're gonna reclaim the lead 15-13 here.
But you look at these reads across the board. It really does feel like Cloud9 knows what Sentinels are gonna do before they even do it. They have these perfect flanks. Someone like Royal 2 who is so sneaky over towards the mud gets green gunned and finished off. Lethal, who takes a very safe and great route with that overshield, gets destroyed. Every single step of the way, Cloud9 are just prepared for these pushes.
Royal 2 trying to push in. Eco trades out 1. But that was 2 in favor of Sentinels, and these kills keep getting traded. 19-17, a 2-point difference between the squads. As we are going back and forth, this game could come down to the overshields as you see both teams start to move to this side of the map.
Look at all those damage players over at the shortcut. Stellar charging for these finishes. Here's a one-shot Frosty and wants to finish a one-shot Frosty. Unsuccessful though, and this is going to be a great setup here for Sentinels.
You got the heat, you've got the snipe. Oh, it's all headshots for Snakebite. He can only find 2, but his teammates with the shields dropped, able to clean up. 22-23, Sentinels retake the lead.
Now this is slowing down again. You see those chaotic bouts. As soon as a team knows the sniper's not in the safe position or they have that damage advantage, they want to press that advantage and break that step. Other than that, they're going to chill for a little bit and wait for that opportunity. Nice little trade there from Penguin on Royal 2. Lethal's going to trade out a kill as well on Stellar. And just trade after trade, these teams are so evenly matched.
I was going to say, Dave, it feels like a lot of mutual respect. Everyone's just okay with the trade out, right? 1 for 1, we're good with it. 25-26. Over the top comes Bound, though. Great angle on 3 players. Shields are down. Check the angles. Corner is clear. Royal 2 is down.
But also, no real damage being done on Bound here just yet. So it's like he still has a full overshield. He charges this garage, and look at how quick he gets behind enemy lines. Every single time he's charged in, he's not just fighting on one front. He's sliding past that first threat, damages someone else, and that puts someone in a precarious position. They now have to decide, do I face forward towards sandbags and fight the rest of Cloud9? or do I have to deal with an overshielded Bound behind me?
Sentinels are down 1 game and currently down 2 kills. Let's crank up our headphones and listen in with one of their star slayers, Frosty.
I'm looking up. Come on.
I'm in weak bound, and then
Absolute
this
ban,
one,
absolute ban,
one cuts,
absolute
one
ban,
one
absolute
cuts,
ban.
one cuts.
Yeah,
I'm saying your dummy door. I'm saying your dummy
Yeah, melted by OS. It's like 3 there.
fighting tower.
There's a
Yeah,
heat wave
I'm
down top
fighting
tower. Watch. Go for it.
TJ, garage coming out, I think. Shooting at me.
You're alone, Matt. You're alone.
Two top main pushing me. Garage coming outside.
I'm here, Matt.
One in B, one in B, one in B.
One side, yeah, one side. Two, three tower.
Living.
Try to play our lives a little bit harder here, guys.
I'm bottom
I'm looking
runner.
garage. I'm looking garage.
I hear him top mid. I hear him top mid.
You're out of snipe, right?
I hear them literally above me top mid.
Back mid.
Yeah, bottom mid. Inside bottom mid. Pillar door.
Come right. Let's
Alright,
walk up.
we're going right, we're going.
Let's see if we can find it. Like,
I'm just gonna like bully tower.
just let's see if someone peeks on. That's what I say.
Yo, A flag guys. Make it. Fall keyboard. Yeah, top mid to top mid.
We'll be in 15, guys.
He's weak player side, tango.
B pillars.
We'll be in 10.
Okay, get it. Play for us. It's in for us.
Big OB, guys.
I'm in one hit. Nice. One throw. OB, yeah, two down. One right, I should be able to get this. I should be able to get this.
I'm trying to hold you guys A plat. Yo, Keydor weak, and then A plat. Nading you guys.
Is A5 falling or no?
And Keydor still. Watch my name. One cave, I think. Eh?
I killed him.
Okay, look.
What about snipe as well? Snipe, guys. Snipe. They just got it.
I'm going B. Now he's in it, guys. Hold on.
I love that engagement from Snakebite. They were able to gather that overshield Dave, and then Snakebite just feeling like a bull, rushing through the tunnels, finds Eco, and then he knows when to peel back. We're not trading anymore. Now is when we take the lead. They're up by 1. Can they hold on? No, it looks like Cloud9 taking it right back.
Yeah, in that specific situation, Snakebite didn't want to trade out of melee for that full shield OS. He knew there was no chance of him losing that VR battle, so just wanted to create that distance. But here the sniper is changing hands back and forth. Cloud9 only have a 2-kill lead, and that can easily be taken away with a well-placed sniper.
They only need 6 kills, though. 8 kills to go for Sentinels. And Lethal trying to survive. Bound was on his back. He's getting pinged up from all directions. Lethal goes sky high, and somehow he's still on his feet. Finally tracked down as Bound turns it into a double.
Bound behind enemy lines. Name a better duo. He is just every single time finding these routes, and look at that sick movement, just ducking his head perfectly down behind those rails to avoid that last headshot. 4-kill lead, sniper in their hands, overshield coming up in 40 seconds.
You know, I'm not going to call him a sneaky beaver. Bound, definitely a slippery pickle right now. And he's got the snipe in hands. 2 players looking across the top. They know we cannot challenge this fight, cannot give up any kills. Cloud9 just 3 kills away from making this a 2-0 lead.
Generally, when you have the sniper, you're the furthest player back on your team. Maybe not the case when Bound has the sniper's hands. And look at this push there.
Challenge.
3 members of Sentinels charge for top there, get that crucial kill. But now they need to find these other Cloud9 players. They have the high advantage. They're in a great spot, but they cannot trade out kill for kill. 49-45, that's going to be it.
Cloud9 with the melees trading out at the end. And they are in a dominant position in this best of 5 now.
It is looking so good for Cloud9. And I mean, credit to Sentinels for that last push. Sometimes when you're backed in the corner like that, teams can opt to just sit around and wait till they get picked up from the sniper. Instead, they made a concentrated push where they figured the sniper would be at, get the sniper pick, try to see if they catch any other Cloud9 members off guard and do their own setup, but Cloud9 are just too good. They traded out slay after slay to close it out.
50-45 is your final score. Penguin, support player of the year, doing the damage in game 1, but it was a whole squad. That stellar top frags for the team at 15. Everyone contributing here in this game 2.
It is a team effort. No individual is carrying this game, but as I look someone getting behind enemy lines, look at Bound continually creating these opportunities for his team. I think this is the double-edged sword known as Bound. There are times when he is behind enemy lines, creating those first opportunities to create a push. And those are the times that he's just first death and leaving his team in a 4v3 scenario.
I mean, just look at that play as well. Stellar takes his turn, 3 players down at OS. Stellar's right behind you on the stairs. Cloud9 always with the player on your flank. But coming up next, we're going to Strongholds. The map is Streets. Dave, if you're Sentinels, you've got a perfect win rate on this map throughout Seattle.
You
only
need
2-0
something to
though.
bounce back on. Yeah, 2-0 for Seattle. They haven't played a juggernaut in the form of like Cloud9 just yet on this, so We're gonna have to see how this pans out for Sentinels. This map, out of all of them, is gonna be the fastest pace we've seen thus far. It's gonna be the most chaotic. There are too many points of interest across the map that these players are gonna have to make a lot of individual decisions. We're gonna see if that plays perfectly in some like balanced playstyle or overwhelms them, and we start to see some mistakes, because so far, Cloud9 are looking real good, Puckett.
Opening battles, it's 3 down already for Sentinels, and that is not how you wanted to start this game. All momentum back in favor of Cloud9, but Frosty's making the plays. He's got the rocket. This is how you can flip it back. Penguin says, we're not giving you that opportunity.
Yeah, somehow Frosty was able to grab the B stronghold, get a kill the rocket player, secure the rockets. I mean, about all you could expect or hope for in the last player alive scenario. But rocket player after rocket player going down. I mean, I don't want to put any bad juju out there, but those rockets might be cursed.
And we call out Sentinels is scoring 25 points as the trip cap was almost underway. Bound clutches up to keep C in their control. Frosty rotating over though, David. This is going to be Sentinels trying to go with a full court press.
They get a 3-cap position for just a short period of time, and look at this. Frosty is realizing this player's no chance going back to back commando. He expected that player to double back towards driveway or go towards the dumpster.
And it is Bound, the sneaky bee behind the corner, gets the first shot on Frosty. He turns back with a stalker, but instantly punished. And we mentioned it, Renegade, the former star slayer of this Cloud9 squad. When he left the team, everyone's wondering, who do you grab? What could fill that role? Bound seems to be the answer.
Bound seems to be in the chaotic times. We'll have to see how it is during some of those neutral, slower times. I have yet to see that just yet, but so far, looking real good. However, when we're looking at Cloud9 and being critical throughout this game, they're doing great in the slaying department, but they have only 10 points on the board.
Until this trip cap, right, Dave? I was gonna say, good that you mentioned it when they were only at 10 points, but now look, 24, 26, every second you are climbing back up, and this could be a tie game, but Sentinels, clutch kills, 4 down. This should be Sentinels taking full map control for now.
Yeah, Sentinel's gonna grab these 2 strongholds. They are aware that Cloud9 are gonna spawn over at Cafe or PD, and they're gonna defend these 2 strongholds before they make a push and try to get a trip cap. With Frosty and Snakebite both falling, trip cap's out of the picture. At this point, save your life and see if you can even hold on to your 2.
Late to get there is Bound, but he's true for the first. Can he clean up Lethal as well? Lethal on the stairs, his teammate survives. It's Penguin getting out of dodge. The grenades are traded, but B was not captured.
Not captured,
Now
but
it is.
eventually acquired by Penguin, and that's just fine. Look at how these players are playing the lives. When we went into a couple listens, you heard from both Cloud9 and Sentinel side saying, play your life. What that means is make the opposing team take as long as possible to kill you. Play a little more selfish. You don't need to do anything miraculous on your own. You don't need to do a ninja. You don't need to jump out and get a stick every single time. Instead, buy as much time for your teammates, and those little advantages are gonna roll into a big snowball lead for your team.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the Halo World Championship. We are live from Seattle, Washington, and we are down to the final 6 teams. This is a battle between 2 champions. Cloud9 from Raleigh, Sentinels from Kansas City, but only one's moving into our top 4.
Only one moves on, one goes home, and it's difficult. I would not expect to say that about either of these teams this early on Sunday.
Bound trying to challenge as Cloud9 is going to get pushed around at B. Penguins under fire at C as well. This was the push Sentinels needed. They're still in control, but you can see that scoreboard getting ever closer to a tie.
Just like that, Eco realizing the numbers advantage not in his favor. Sometimes counterintuitively, if you don't have numbers on the map, getting a trade can be your best case scenario.
Here's Bound with another double kill. Chat, how many have we seen from this man? On the other side, observers, if we can get eyes on Royal 2, we haven't shown the light on this guy enough throughout this series. I want to see what's going on currently, leading the team with 13 kills.
13 kills, grabbing the B stronghold. Let's see how he lays down these shots across the map. He has such a strong, steady shot, especially long range. And look at just the little poke shots the damage he'll do. Anytime someone just peeks out on a screen for just a minute period of time.
That's 2 down. And 2 traded right back. Bound Another double kill keeps rolling him up. He's been the cleanup crew, Dave, and it seems the man always has a bulldog, a stalker rifle, something in his hand.
Just doing everything to grab those weapons out of the sandbox here in Halo. Now that massive lead for Sentinels is now quick within striking distance. Only a 25-point lead here for Sentinels when off the gate they were up about 60.
They opened up so strong. They had an early 3 cap. That opened the door for Cloud9 to come back. Cloud9, momentary 3 cap, closed that gap, and now we see the Sentinels, though. We mentioned it, Dave. This is a squad that can win efficiently. They don't need to blow you out when it comes to the slaying. They're definitely not doing it in this game. But if you look at the scoreboard, they're now up 50.
They are now up 50, but here is Cloud9's answer. They have a dub cap. They have Sentinels trapped over in Tram. Now let's see how they decide to put the squeeze on. Lethal at least able to sneak on out, but those kills are traded out. That's 3 down for Sentinels. Now, is this gonna be a strong trip cap here from Cloud9, or do they decide to hold their 2? Look at Eco's focus. He is more focused on bottom Tram to make sure they secure that spot.
He's just blocking spawns and dishing out damage. Eco has done it all tournament long. You look at his numbers, he's been fragging out in Slayer, but across the board, he has been pure lethal though. Coming up with half shield, taking the fight and winning, and that's gonna open up a rocket opportunity for Snakebite here.
Yeah, even though Cloud9 has control for the time being, I would expect the new case, but Penguin with the stalker rifle destroys Snakebite, gets the rockets out of his hands, and is now pushing his team closer and closer to a tie game.
Everybody's running around with a T2 combo these days. I don't want a battle rifle. Give me all the power-ups. He's got a rocket. My beam's bigger. Eco across the map. Lock it down top of A. You see C, B, all in control of Cloud9. The trip cap against the Sentinels, and the scoreboard is showing it. 175 and growing to 150.
Trip cap in effect, but Bound cannot overextend in this position. This could go from a dub cap to even a trip cap in favor of Sentinels. Look at that, just by Bound trying to get a little greedy and help over on B Street. Cost him and his teammates lives.
This is massive for Sentinels. You can't let Cloud9 get to that 200 mark. You're 100 points away from keeping yourself alive in this series. How do you close out this game 3? We go back to Bound. Cloud9 defending themselves at B. C-Cap already down. And he is just doing a phenomenal job of staying alive. Penguin comes behind, causes chaos, finds the melee, and forces a second player down. Cloud9 always with an answer to this pressure from Sentinels.
Bound just giving so much respect to Sentinels there, assuming a grenade's gonna come flying in a different angle, so he's ducking in and out of that stronghold. Doesn't want to just commit and die there immediately.
He's getting flipped back and forth, back and forth. Eco versus Royal 2 cross-map battle. Eco's gonna force him back, Bound jumping in, but Lethal, he's there at the perfect time. There's the teamwork we needed to see from Sentinels as they recap C.
A reset at what cost, but the surprising part right now is that Cloud9 have not grabbed A throughout the entire time. Eco was at bottom A tower, but looks like the Cloud9 strategy is holding B and C if they have a choice.
They're spawning back PD, and Lethal's in trouble. The boom boom's around the corner. Down goes TJ. Sentinels in trouble. Snakebite though, perfect grenades, keeps his team in it at B.
Snakebite just jumping around, trying to stay alive, gets picked up by Bound. These players, when they are weak, they are called out and they are hunted down fast. Puckett, it's a trip cap in action. 228 points on the board for Cloud9.
3-1 in Orlando. 3-0 to send Sentinels packing in Orlando. And now, 10 points away from another 3-0. The AR comes out. Bound sitting on 15 kills. Penguin gets to the 20 mark. And this game day is almost done. That clutch from Royal 2. Can he hang on? Penguin's there.
But it is over. Cloud9 3-0 versus Sentinels. Sentinels going home in 5th/6th place this event. We're used to saying hail to the Kings. This time is pay our respects to the Kings.
Last time the battle was top 3. Now the fight for top 4. Cloud9 continues on. Sentinels are out.
Cloud9, look at that. You know they're pumped to win this, but the work is just beginning. They put themselves so low into the elimination bracket that they have to just continually fight here. They're not used to this position. they have been in the grand finals of every single LAN event we've had so far this year. Right now, their tournament life breathes a little bit easier, but still not there just yet. They have to win 2 more matches to get back to that grand finals.
I didn't see a weakness though, Dave. That's what I'm worried about for everyone else in this tournament. Looking at this Cloud9 squad, your support player is top fragging. Your objective-minded players are in the perfect position. You controlled the spawns, you controlled the slays. There wasn't a moment in this series that I thought Sentinels had the upper hand. This was a dominant showing on Championship Sunday by Cloud9.
It was. I mean, that game number 3, it looked like Sentinels started to get their groove, started to click on all cylinders, but ultimately it got shot down. You just saw all those different plays from Cloud9 getting the slays. I mean, slays weren't heavy in Cloud9's favor in that game number 3. It was 69 kills for Cloud9, 61 kills for Sentinels. Overall, throughout all those games, it was Cloud9 outslaying Sentinels. Taking a quick look at this series, though, Puck.
They started the year as Raleigh champions, and they're looking to close out as world champions. A 3-0 gonna help you out along the way. A 2-0 on Bazaar, 50-45 in the closest game of Slayer. And then after trailing early on, C9 finding their top form, locking in all 3 cap points, and taking a 251-67 dominant win in that game 3.